So all the families of children in Texas who have from mild to more severe disabilities really need to understand the Medicaid Waiver System, because it's our best source of funding for especially adults as they live in the community. So the purpose of a Medicaid waiver is to keep a person living in the community rather than an institutionalized setting. So the institutionalized settings available to us, the state school system, nursing homes, and group homes of a larger size, say 6 and up. So a Medicaid waiver's purpose is to provide supports where that person lives so they can stay in their community rather than an aggregate setting. So you can only use them when your child lives with you in your home, or your child lives in their own home, apartment, any kind of setting in the community. So it's really a natural setting. Medicaid waivers provide also a variety of services, and the user, either the parent, the guardian, or the person with the disability, has choice over how they use those services. So that's the beauty of the system. That's why it's better than the old systems we used to have, where somebody just said, here it is, take it or leave it. Now, with this system, you are on a team of people that you're given a menu of services, and you pick out, these are the things that would help us the most. We don't need that, we do need this. So you have discretion. Once a year, you go through a budget planning process, and you have discretion over which services you choose and to what degree, what proportion of your budget you use on those services. So also it's funded at a higher level than the other services available to people in Texas. So even if you feel like you don't know whether your child will need these services in the future, it's still so helpful to get on those waiting lists, because they might need them, and that way you'll have access to them. So how do the Medicaid waiver services work for younger children, for families of younger children? Well, first be aware that most of the waivers are a long-term waiting list, so children aren't getting them right away. So if your child was born yesterday, today you should get on the waiting list, and you would hope to get these services when they're 7 to 10 years old. So that's the reality of the way things work right now in Texas. And there are other services that you can access if there's crisis. So I wouldn't hesitate to go back if there's real danger, out-of-home placement worries, if your child is at risk of out-of-home placement, or a family situation that's truly a crisis. You should go back to your local authority and ask to get these services quicker. But say you've put your child on the waiting list when he was 1 year old, and you get the services at age 8, 9, 10. Again, you have a variety of services to pick from. So the kinds of services, say with the CLASS program, which is one of the Medicaid waivers, that child would have funding for related therapies. So they might be able to fund equestrian therapy, recreational therapy, massage therapy, as well as the traditional speech therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy. So one kind of service that a lot of people with, say, the CLASS program use is these added therapies that really help they benefit your child's well-being today. You can also get attendant care, so that's a one-to-one assistance. So somebody whose child is in school might have a person that would meet their bus at 2 or 3 in the afternoon and keep them, but it would be somebody paid by the state system and who might have the credentials or training needed. They also provide respite care. So that might be a weeknight or a weekend off for a family paid for through this program. So it also has a wide variety of services that are specialized. So nursing, the kinds of possibly counseling services. So there's a variety there, but the families I know use the most are these, some of these therapies and attendant care and respite care.